Dude, we're going. I'll bring us live. I'll bring us live, and then I'll tell you how many suggestions we have, and then you just pick a number.
Yeah.
And then based on that, we go and I look for an out about 10 minutes in.
Okay.
And then yeah, that's that's pretty much it. And I like to find out how people got into improv and like what brought them in. So I'll do that afterwards. We've got 31. So pick a number 1 to 31.
I'll go with 22.
Woohoo. Now, is there a reason or did that just come to mind?
It didn't just come to mind. What came to mind was I briefly saw the list starting, so I don't want to predispose myself. So I went for a kind of a later number, but
I love it. Sometimes people are like, oh, it's my favorite number. Sometimes people are like, I just picked that number. Our suggestion comes from J Graigory, and our suggestion is jump back 2 suggestions. Jump back 2 suggestions.
okay.
Thanks, J Graigory.
You've been at this for a while now.
I know.
I don't think this is going to work.
I know. I'm getting that same feeling right now. I feel like I'm stuck and I'm circling around the same thing and I can't get out of it.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, by the way. You rushed right over. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I want to be here for you.
You are.
But
You are.
this is tough. What options do we have? I mean, we could take her out of there.
I mean, that's the first one, but that doesn't always mean it's the best one, right? It's like the first suggestion is we take mom and we put her in a different home, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's the same thing that's been happening a bunch.
If you pay more, do they give you better service? Do you think?
Here's the thing. I've been bribing Tom, and like every time you're on shift, if you could do me a little solid, and every time I see him, I've been giving him $20. So so the thing is, this is the best she's going to act.
Wow.
I've
had some little suspicions about Tom. I have to be honest. I mean, he seems like a charmer, so I don't know if maybe he's scamming us or something.
Oh, God, you're probably right.
But, well, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I mean, he is very charming.
What if
he's real charming? Yeah.
Do you think she'd be up for dating?
Oh, I mean, I could make let's make a profile for her.
All right.
Let's make a profile for her. What? First, here. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up just senior dating website. Okay, and then, all right. So here are 5 websites. We'll just pick one that sounds good. And then we'll go from there. So it's eHarmony. They're saying Match.com, Our Time, Zoosk, or Elite Singles.
Ooh. I'm not sure if Grandma could pull off Elite Singles.
I mean, she's elite to us, but I don't think.
Yeah.
That's a great question. What is elite? Right? Is it elite in social status?
Or just like being fancy? Or
I mean, that could be it.
Just having money?
I mean, she did seduce spies in World War II. That's pretty good.
Yeah. She would probably love that.
It can't hurt, right?
Yeah.
It can't. I mean, this to me, like this is the best suggestion to get her out of that place. If we could get her just dating someone.
Yeah. Maybe we could hire somebody to act like a spy and to kind of seduce her.
That's a great point. Let me just do a little. I'm going to Google here. Um, okay, so I've got. Okay, great. So I've got five fake spy agencies, the top five fake, and so I guess let's just pick one,
Okay.
and then we'll just contact it. Okay, so there's the 13th Bureau is one, Alpha Protocol. There's COPS, which is Central Organization of Police Specialists.
Oh,
Cherub, which I mean, it says mostly employs children, so that's a no-go right there. And then there's ISIS, the International Secret Intelligence Service. That's from the show Archer. So that's current
oh yeah.
one. Or there's Odin. So which one of those? And then I'll just
I like the son of
fire off an email.
Odin,
Okay, I'm a here. Okay,
Norse god.
I think that okay. Then it's set. It's set. We're Swedish, Norse god set. Okay. I'm gonna fire off an email. Oh wait, I'm on the website now. Contact us. Okay, services.
I hope they'll be up for it.
I mean, there's a section that says hire us.
Yes.
Hire us. Birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, bachelor parties, you name it, we play it. Okay, so this I mean, I think I don't want to brag, but I think this is the best idea we've ever had.
Yes.
Let me fire off an email real quick. Let me write it. I'm going to compose it, and then you tell me if you want any addition to this, dear. This is just a rough draft right now, dear Odin. We would like to hire you to. I guess I should be honest, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you going to say seduce or are you going to say like hang out with?
Well, I
How honest do we want to be?
right, because I'm like I initially put we would like to hire you to seduce our grandmother, but that sounds like I'm asking for a prostitute.
Yeah. Yeah. And they might not go for that.
Oh. Okay, you know what? The more I think about this, the more it's like, can we go back? Can we go back like two suggestions ago? I think you had a really good one. I'm going to put
Yeah.
it in my saved folder. So I'm not going to delete it, but I'm just going to put it in my saved folder. We can always revisit it. But can we go back two suggestions before taking her out of the home? What was that? Because you really hit on something there.
I thought maybe we could up her dose.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think if we like asked for them to increase her medication.
Yeah. I mean, it's simple.
I'm gonna fire off an email real quick
Okay.
to Dr. Kaylani. Okay, dear Dr. K, Brent and I would like to speak with you about Nana's medication.
Is it possible to make her feel happier?
Love that. Okay, so Brent and I would like to speak with you about Nana's medication. It's possible to make her feel happier? Question mark. Then I put thanks exclamation point. I think that's okay.
Okay.
Oh God, all right, it's sent. Hey, thank you. I know sometimes I get real wound up, And the fact that
Yeah.
you rushed over here mid-dinner, uh, I don't
And
know.
look, I brought you this weighted blanket.
Oh my God.
If you put it on yourself,
Yeah, this is what
it's supposed to
Cheryl.
calm you down.
Oh my God, Cheryl got you this for your birthday.
I love it. It's great. And it's one of the cooling ones too, so you don't get hot.
Could uh could I ask one favor from you?
Sure.
Will you just sit with me until I fall asleep?
Absolutely.
Promise?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna oh, oh, it feels so good.
I love that you love it.
I love it so much. Just stay with me till I fall asleep, okay?
Yeah. I love your yeah, the height of your bed is so crazy.
I invested in a bunk bed.
It's awesome.
Scene. Oh, buddy, so fun.
It was fun.
I don't I don't get to use that dresser as much as I'd like.
That was great. I've never seen you go up there before.
I don't know if I've ever climbed up there during a scene, but it's definitely fun. I love the weighted blanket, man. Do you have a weighted blanket?
No, but I've been getting ads for them lately, so it just came to mind.
I I I want, like, part of me is like, oh, I'd love to get it. And then part of me is like, would it just make me unbearably hot because I'm under that blanket the whole time? I don't know.
That's yeah, the same thing for me.
Did you research weighted blankets at once? And that's why you're getting a ton of ads? It's interesting to me of like, why are these ads suddenly coming to me that I've never had before?
Well, what's interesting is I read a book about awkward people, and while it wasn't about any diagnoses per se, it got me interested in autism and
Mm,
those sorts of things. And I'm, in a way, a lot of it seems familiar to me. Like I might be on the spectrum,
yeah.
and so weighted blankets are something they do for comfort.
It's interesting because we start when like I was younger, there was no resource like we have now to be like, this is something that seems familiar to me. You just kind of in a way were on your own. And
Hmm.
now the fact that you have this information, you can look up and go, oh, okay, maybe it seems like something I relate to. It's just who I am. It's not a negative in any way. It's just
Right.
this helps me understand what I'm doing in some of my actions too.
Yeah. And I'm kind of thankful that I now know that it's not an odd thing.
Right.
Because I think a lot of people have just an impression that autism is like freaky kids or something.
Oh, totally. And they think it's like there's only one type of person who's autistic and that's it. And
Yeah.
it's like, no, it's there's a wide range. And it could
Yeah.
you could look at this and it can help bring a sort of not an ease of mind, but I feel like it can bring a level of like answers to questions that people might have.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Reading that book, it just kind of felt empathetic in a
Mm.
way. So that was kind of cool.
Now, what brought you, speaking of empathy, what brought you into improv? Because you need a ton of empathy in improv.
So I saw my first live improv show in San Francisco, and it was in a tiny theater. It was very intimate, and it just seemed to me that the people on stage seemed familiar, and they seemed
Mm.
familiar because they seemed like people I would encounter when playing music, like in a band type situation.
Were you in a
It's like,
band before that?
yeah, I play music, so I can basically sit in with any band because I play guitar, bass, and keyboard.
Shut up. Wow.
So it just seemed like here's a bunch of collaborators coming together, making something new out of nothing. It's
Wow.
just like music.
See, what a wonderful transition. You already
Yeah.
know how to do group creation when you're in a band.
Mhm.
So making that transition to improv, it's like the philosophies are still the same. We're in this together. There are going to be times you're going to shine. There'll be times I'm going to shine. We'll create this. We're bringing different instruments, but we're creating the same song together. Like
Mhm.
it must have been a somewhat of an easy transition to go from the musical aspect to then doing a group work with improv.
You would think so. I think I struggled a bit because of that. Uh, I don't know if I have a diagnosis for autism yet, but I think it was difficult in that I was a bit socially awkward when I came in to improv,
Mm.
and so there was a time that I wasn't considered, you know, as good as the rest of the people. But I loved it, and I I felt like I was a good performer,
Yeah.
you know, when it came to performing. So I just kept with it, and eventually everything clicked.
And isn't it interesting looking back now of there isn't there's just different styles. And sometimes you're in a situation where you're like, oh, I'm at a theater and that style isn't working with my style. It doesn't mean I'm not good or competent or talented or fun. It's
Yeah,
like I'm just not in the right situation right now.
yeah, yeah. I definitely agree with that, and I think I just had a bunch of thoughts come at once. Um, my first place I thought was a decent style. My teacher could have been a little bit better, but and then I started my own company in 2015, and so we have a group that's been going for 6 years now. Um, and we are very close knit. We're more of a community. It's more about having fun together. There's not an emphasis on teaching. We just get together and we do short form, and it's great. You know, there's basically no rules really.
What made you decide to take that leap and do your own thing? Because
I
that's
just feel
very
like
scary, man. That's very scary to be like, I'm going to do my own thing.
it was very scary. And that first night when 30 something people showed up in my backyard,
What?
I was freaking out.
That's
But
most,
fortunately,
that's so many
there was
people.
another person there who knew improv.
Wow. Wow. So you put a show up in your backyard.
I put a meetup, our first meetup, April Fool's 2015.
Wait. So it was on April Fool's, which first off, I think should be our national holiday for sure. Was there a part of you that thought people are going to think the post was an April Fool's and they're not going to show up? Or did you do, I mean, you obviously did it on purpose.
um, so yeah, I started the meetup in mid-March, and uh, I posted it for April 1st. I didn't give too much credence to people thinking it was a joke. What I did was I tried to model Jimmy Fallon, to be honest. You know how he thanks everybody all the time, or at least he used to.
Yeah.
I just thanked everybody for showing up on the meetup, and you know, tried engaging them, and it worked.
Wow. So the idea of gratitude, I mean,
Mhm.
isn't that to me, it's like, oh, the older I get, the more important it is to lead with gratitude. It just everything good that's happened for me has been because of gratitude. And it took a while for me to really embrace that idea.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I think that was really the key to success for probably at least the first year.
yeah,
You know.
I, I remember I was in a group and after the show, they're like, you head right to the front door and thank people for coming. And if there was a while where I was like, why? Why are we doing this? And then I realized, oh my goodness, people are walking by and you say thank you and you mean it. They're like, oh yeah. And they're more likely to come back. They feel valued. They feel like they've been appreciated. And
Mhm.
that's a basic human, that's like the top human need is like, do you appreciate me? Am I
Yeah.
valued in your eyes?
And do you feel like a partner in this?
Yeah, because isn't that why we ask an audience to come out? Is like you're in
Yeah.
this with us.
Yeah. I love that.
I was listening to a podcast and they talk about like who are we serving on stage? And it's like the audience 100% of the time, or we go and rehearse on our own and then we don't worry about an audience. But when you have an audience there, you have to be aware of them. You're serving them. You're there because they came out, and you thank them for their suggestions. I never understand why you ask for a suggestion and the audience gives a suggestion, then we get upset on stage. It's like, don't get upset for that. If you don't want a certain kind of suggestion, then ask for something different, but don't get upset when they give you a suggestion after you say, can I get anything at all that you don't like? It's like, well, change what you're asking for.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I think anybody can do improv.
Yeah.
So I think including the audience as much as you can is probably a great thing. Even including them in on the improv if you can.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm like, that's part of the experience. They're there as part of it. Are you still holding virtual meetups now?
Yeah. Every Thursday night.
So if people want to reach out, if they want to reach out to you to be a part of that meetup, if they want to reach out to you to play or to bring you on as a coach or teacher, or just follow things and shows you're doing, what's the best way they can do that?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. I think fairly easy. I don't think there's anybody else with my name. I am on Instagram, but my name is interwoven, so it's like JHAASDOENR. It's like Jason Hayter, kind of merged together.
I love it.
Yeah. And then Imagine Improv Factory is my group, and you can find that on Facebook or Meetup.
Well, you're just such a big evangelist for improv, and you're just such a big supporter. And what a pleasure. And whether it's in person or virtual, my friend, I can't wait to play with you again. Thanks for taking time out of your day. I really appreciate it.
No problem, Jay. Thank you.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.